gypsy fashion. We are 2 days away from leaving on another like 2-month trip. Maybe less than 2 months for me, probably more than 2 months for Max. It's European road trip time. So we are driving from Sweden down through Denmark and Germany to Switzerland, to Geneva, and we're gonna do a 3-day body class in Geneva in the beginning of July. Then we have about 2 weeks between Geneva and when we need to be in Northern Italy for the Talk to the Entity Summit. So we're gonna go like deep into the heart of Switzerland. I love going into the Swiss Alps every year for summer. We've actually gone like, I feel like every year for the last maybe 5 years, we go to Switzerland. It's not even really intentional. It's just totally like, oh, it's summertime, let's go to Switzerland. And it always works. And I mean, I cannot wait to show you guys Switzerland because it is, I think, one of the most like magnificent places on earth. We're gonna be doing that, and then we drive down to Northern Italy to, how do you say it? Castel di Castelbuono, which is where my dad and some other people own a castle essentially, and that's where we're gonna have the summit class, and it's super beautiful there. And then from there, Max actually is gonna fly to Australia and do another 2 weeks hotel quarantine, and then hang out with Finn and Estelle for a while. And I don't totally know what I'm doing yet because I don't want to go do hotel quarantine again. I did it once and would probably not choose to do that again. But I am currently in transition with my passport. I only have till like August 8th on my British passport to stay in the EU, so I might have to leave the EU, but then I've got something in the pipeline. Yeah! So Max and I travel with like a lot of food because we're extremely particular. This is my Oatly. I'll probably go get a couple more cartons. I need like basically like a month and a half supply, and then Max's Sprout. But I don't know if I can get this in Germany. I probably can, but I don't want to chance it. So this is the supply. So this is the beginning of my packing process. Should have sort of started this earlier because I only have one more day tomorrow, which one would think was enough. But when you're on the road for like 2 months and you need to be like a lot of different situations, it takes me a while. But anyways, this is all like my work clothes because I'm going to be doing like a bunch of classes on the road. And then since we're hiking a lot, right, like I've got to get all my hiking gear ready.
So this is the morning of the road trip that we're going on down south, and I'm going to do one of my favorite things, which is going for a swim at the ocean here. It's actually 5 a.m. right now, and I woke up at 2 this morning to go to the toilet, and then I just couldn't go back to sleep. So I've been up since then working on a few things and looking forward to this swim. What's the plan today, babe?
Well, I woke up to discover that the booking we had for tonight in Hamburg, Germany, was like canceled by the host. So I sort of like don't have a place to go. I've been trying to sort of work out what we do with that. So we're just heading out on a road trip this morning. At some point, I'm gonna do a workout before we leave.
Well, we know we're going, we just don't know where we're staying tonight, where we're sleeping.
Yeah, and more importantly, where our food is sleeping, because we have to have a very specific accommodation, which makes it a little trickier because we like travel with so much food, we have to have a refrigerator. It's like a necessity. So that sort of narrows down like the possibilities. Plus, like, I don't want to stay in a place that's haunted, and I don't want it to be disgusting. And so we'll actually show you where we end up in Germany tonight. I hope we end up in Germany tonight. So I did something really traumatizing, which is I deleted like the first 4 days of this trip from the camera. Made me really cross with the camera because I just want to mostly shoot this vlog on my iPhone, but Max thinks we should use a better camera, so he got me using the GH4, which is a better camera, to be fair. And then I just did my first, and I was like so gutted that I did it. I was like, I'm not gonna vlog anymore because, I deleted all the footage leaving Sweden, crossing the bridge to Denmark, entering into Germany. We got so much good footage and we're in Germany. We're gonna enter into Switzerland today. Europe is beautiful in the summer. This is our extremely packed car. Yesterday we drove down from Sweden to Hamburg, stayed in Hamburg for the night. Now we're driving out of an extremely industrial area.
Well, Hamburg is a massive port, interestingly enough. So there was like on this side there was a whole bunch of cranes for the containers. On this side there's a whole bunch of cranes for the containers from the boats. And then there's like a ton of trucks just flowing through here.
Yeah, Germany really does
Industry
and industrial. So now we're driving down towards Cologne. It is hot in Germany. It's super muggy. It's a gray sky, but it's still super warm. I'd love to see some natural places. These trucks are lined up, I guess, to get into the port in Hamburg. They've literally, I just started filming, but this has been going like this. I watched it for like a full minute before I started filming. And here, they're still just like backed up the highway. Wow, I've never seen anything like this. They just keep going.
Let us keep trucking.
Wow, I guess this is how we get all of our stuff.
Shanna's getting some vlog footage.
When I say the word relationships,
Everything that is. Before you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good, bad, POD and POC, all nice short.
so we're in this like rural agricultural development somewhere in Germany on the way to Switzerland. France is pretty close by. I'm not actually totally sure where we are. We're just stopped at an Airbnb for the night. But look what we found. This like cigarette machine from like, I have no idea when from. Like, has anybody bought cigarettes out of a machine for like the last 25 years? It's like a national treasure. That is, I think, the best smelling rose I've ever smelled in my life. Oh my God. Breakfast, Germany.
Toronto.
Start date, I think 5 mornings into the trip. Check out this beauty. This is our Airbnb for the night. Just a simple house for 2. Have yourself a very merry coffee. It's called Road Trip Breakfast. So we just arrived in Geneva. 3-day body class starts tomorrow. We just drove from Germany and we've been doing a lot of driving, but it is awesome to be here. And I want to show you guys this hotel room before we mess it up. So I'm going to show you right now. We're staying at the, how do you pronounce it? It's like beautiful river in French, but anyways. So this is just starting at the front entrance. There is this full bathroom at the front entrance. Our lounge. We're in a nice suite. I actually haven't looked out of the window yet. Let's do it all together. So, a nice view of the parking lot and the roofs of Geneva and the mountains in the distance. Moving this direction, I don't know what, there's 2 of these, so Oh, closets. I guess this is the master bathroom. Hello! Hello! And the bedroom. And you know when you walk into a hotel room and they leave the TV on for you? So let's pop that off. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Second view. Bonjour, Geneva! There are hand placement recommendations in the manual as well. You gotta start where the body's at. So if you guys want to put your hands on your face. Geneva is alive with the sound of Sunday.
It's actually very big.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's really big. And half of it's in France and half of it's in Switzerland.
Let's do it. This is fun. I see the sign.
God, you know, totally leave reality. Wow.
And I keep losing my wallet.
Max, it usually take 15 minutes to get into that.
It's colder than Sweden, is it? Now, yeah. Wow. Shot Bartek in the Mondays. Excuse us, Mr. Swan.
Bonjour, Susie! Just leaving Geneva. I feel like we didn't get super good footage when we were there because like most of the event was there. Finished 3-day body class. Miracle as always. This is beautiful. I don't know that it comes across on film. Oh, I was trying to show you like Geneva. We're at the very like eastern tip of it, heading towards Zermatt, which is the village that's at the base of the Matterhorn. It's a car-free village, so you have to like park down the mountain and then they take you up. And then they have these like little electric taxis that take you around. We rented a cabin that's like all by itself, sort of like away from town for 5 nights, and we are super stocked up with groceries. It'll be interesting getting all that up there. We're starting to get into like the really beautiful parts of Switzerland, so yeah. Well, it's our first morning in Zermatt, and it's amazing, but it's also extremely foggy. So this is one of the gambles of coming up into the mountains, obviously. So the mountains and the Matterhorn are all out there. And if we get to see them, we'll be very lucky. The cabin we're staying in is called, how do you pronounce it, babe? Bergheim. 1930 it was built. So we're having 5 nights here. Last night was our first one. I had to unhaunt this cabin big time. It was not a very good night's sleep, but moving forward will be well. So hoping to get some epic hikes in, but the forecast is all rain. I'll put it on the screen here for you guys. It's like the worst possible weather for being here right now. But it's still absolutely gorgeous here. It feels so good to be in the mountains. It's so powerful. That's our little cabin. Here's the little road. Only electric cars, little electric buggies. For those of you guys that don't know Zermatt, it's the village at the base of the Matterhorn. And the Matterhorn is under clouds today, as are all the mountains back there. This is my visibility. I can see about 15 feet, 13 feet ahead of me. I can kind of make out there's some trails up there. I can kind of see this goes off into the distance, but to where? Trying not to be a real bummer about this. But this weather is really bumming me out. It's like, it is beautiful, but I want to see this place. I just realized what my conflict is. Like, I don't like imposing my point of view on the weather. You know? Like, I want to, like, the earth has to take care of itself. And, like, I'm like, oh, I don't like it. You know, that's really not, like, contributive or constructive. So, I'm sort of like, don't love this, but Alpen elevator.
Open elevator.
I think that goes up to like one of the lifts that then takes you up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Like if we had one of those like stand-up push scooter things that you just like get all over the place. So this is, we can see the cabin that we're staying in. Now we're down in town. If you can see, if you look just to the right of the crane, it's the dark wood with the red shutters. One of the most freaking awesome things about the Alps, Matterhorn Express. These little floaty bubble mountain things. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. This is what we get for the Alps today. Looks like Ireland. But up there is the Matterhorn. And there used to be trolls in these mountains. Now you only see their faces on the old buildings. We're currently in the village, and to head up to the cabin we're staying in, you either walk up there for 30 minutes, or you can take an electric taxi, which costs 40 francs, which takes about 7 minutes. So we're not taking the taxi, because we think 40 francs is just too much on principle. We can totally afford it, but I'm just not gonna do it. So if you don't want to walk up for 30 minutes, you take an elevator. And that's what they do a lot here, especially in the Alps. They have all sorts of different elevators. So this one goes like deep into the mountain and then up to the cabin. This is how you get to the elevator. Nearly to the elevator now. Ta-da! This is a mountain elevator.
Come on, Abby.
The stairs to the cabin. So this is where we're bunking. This is the cabin that I have successfully unhaunted. So another note about staying in a haunted cabin. Zermatt is the only place I've ever had to use my own house and space clearing loop. So for those of you guys that don't know, I clear haunted houses for a living. And
haunted people.
And haunted people. And I have this house and space clearing audio that works like a charm. I'll put a picture of it here and we'll link it below, those of you guys that know you got a haunted house. Anyways, I had like never actually personally used it in the past because obviously like I just cleared it myself and it was very easy. But the first time we stayed in Zermatt, Switzerland, we stayed in this apartment and I had to use the clearing loop and it was incredible how quickly it worked. And then, you know, fast forward, we go back to Zermatt this year and this cabin was so haunted. And it wasn't like by like a bad spirit. It was just like a little boy and I'm not really sure why he was stuck there, but he was like really stuck there. And I tried clearing him just my normal way, which usually works really quickly and effectively, and it wasn't working. So we started playing the clearing loop like downstairs, like when we go out for a hike and then come home and I was like, okay, great, it's still, and I like couldn't sleep in the house and stuff because it was just very active. So finally I put the clearing loop playing like on repeat all day long for like 24 hours in the exact room that was sort of like where he was hanging out the most in the epicenter. And that was it. It took 24 hours of playing that clearing loop and finally he left and it was really peaceful afterwards. So if you have a haunted house, check the clearing loop out. It is really effective, but just know that you might need to play it like on repeat in the room or the epicenter of like where there's the most activity. You know, you might even take like a week to a week and a half. Above the clouds today. This is Sonnaga lift station, so we took the train up here. It takes like 7 minutes and then we're above the clouds. So down here is Zermatt, so the whole valley is totally socked in, but above the clouds it is spectacular.